guys, we are live. So glad that you are joining me today. I'm popping in for a quick live stream today. As you can see from the title, this is the insider secrets to getting booked on TV, what producers really want when they are booking guests. So I am really pulling back the curtain. We're going behind the velvet rope to see what really is going on inside the minds of those producers and media gatekeepers when they are looking for guests. So we know that the media absolutely need you. You are an expert. You need to get more visibility for your business so that you can reach more people. So media is the fastest and easiest way to do that. So I want to dive into that. This is a three-part series that I'm actually doing. Today is part one. Um, so I want to make sure that you are here tomorrow and Wednesday because I'm going to be doing a three-part series. I'm basically, y'all, I'm spilling all the tea. I'm giving you everything that you need to get featured on TV. Actionable tips, right? We're not just talking about theory, something we read in a book. We're talking about actionable tips that I, a 35-year TV producer, am giving you so that you can get started. There's nothing holding you back but you. There are so many opportunities out there. One of my clients was on television this morning, and she sent me a text, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, I was on TV again." She's using the strategies that I taught, and I always beam when I see my clients on TV because this is stuff. It's not rocket science, but there's a cadence to it. It's part art and it's part skill. You got to know what you're doing. And so this series is going to give you everything that you need to start getting booked on TV. Okay. Um, so let's dive in. So for those of you who are new to me, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Stacia Crawford, CEO of Stay Ready Media. I'm a two-time Emmy-winning television producer, and I've been in TV for over 35 years. So now, as an experienced PR and media strategist, I help my clients get booked on television, on radio, podcasts, in publications like national magazines. And I want the same for you. So you want to be seen, you want your message out there, but how do you make those producers want you? How do you make them pick you, right? So I'm going to be sharing all those juicy insider secrets for you today, straight from my 35 years in the newsroom. This is what I did. Um, so here's the thing. Grab a notepad. Take some notes because these are going to be notes that you're going to want to refer back to time and time again. So don't write it on a napkin. Don't put it on the back of a receipt. Right? Write it someplace where you're going to be able to find it because I'm telling you, I am dropping some nuggets and this is going to be gold. So let's dive into what producers really want. So what do you want? You want to get booked on TV because you want more clients. You want corporate contracts. You want grants. You want people to be able to find you. You want to stop being a hidden gem, right? You want to reach the masses. So this is how you do it. Producers are looking for really a few key elements to ensure that when they are booking a guest, that person is going to be engaging and relevant, and most importantly, that they're going to add value to their audience. So the first thing that you need is a compelling story. Please write that down. You need a compelling story. So as a producer, when I'm going through my inbox and I'm seeing pitches that basically sound like TV commercials, that is an automatic no, you're out of here, delete. And not only is that going to be deleted, but now every time I see your name pop up in my inbox, I'm going to delete it without even reading it because it sounds like a sales pitch. Producers are not looking for a sales pitch. They want a story. So your business needs to be tied to something bigger than you, bigger than the business itself, bigger than the fact that you need to get eyes on your business because you want to make money. Duh, they know that, but they don't care about that. They care about the value you bring to their audience. So when you're developing your story, I want you to think about how can you tie your business story into, first of all, something that's already trending, right? What are people already talking about? Producers are actively looking for stories. So in addition to you giving them ideas about stories, they're actively looking for stuff. So when you're watching the news and you see topics that are coming up, what are people talking about? The same stuff that's on the news is the same stuff that's on social media. So, what are people talking about? What's that trending topic? And how do you tie your business to that? It could be a human interest angle, right? It could be somehow you offering a unique solution to a problem that someone in that audience has. So always ask yourself, who cares? Who cares about this story other than me because I'm trying to grow my business? Who else really cares? What would what would make a viewer want to even sit down and watch a 5, 6, 7 minute segment with you? Right? Time is the one asset we don't get back. If I'm going to spend 7 minutes watching a television story, I want to get something out of it. So, what makes your story newsworthy, and what is an audience going to get from watching an interview with you? So, to give you an example, say for example, if you are in the fitness industry, you're a fitness trainer, and instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm a fitness trainer," put me on TV. No, nobody wants to hear that. What you do is you look at the problem, right? So you could position it, maybe you could say something like, I help busy moms create 10-minute workouts that fit in with their hectic schedules and actually help them have more energy, right? If you're running around the house behind a toddler, you need some energy. So that would be one way for you to position it, so that you've now turned your sales pitch into an actual relatable story that solves a problem for the viewer. So always start with that compelling story. The other thing producers are looking for is they really want a clearly defined message. So many people don't really know what their message is. They're just pitching, saying, hey, look at me, put me on TV, I do this, I do that. Again, no one cares. You need to know your message inside and out. So once you know your story, what is the message around that story going to be? Because producers really want guests who are clear on their key points and can convey them in a short, impactful method. We often think, oh, well, this is my business. This is what I do. This is my passion. I can talk about this all day. What happens is you end up rattling on, you end up rambling, and that doesn't help a producer really understand the value that you bring. And it doesn't really give them an idea of what your clear, defined message is. What's the message that you're delivering in a television interview? And the way that you really need to do that is to create talking points. This is you helping them do their job. So this is not only helping you, but it's also helping them. You always want to position yourself as helping them. So you can create clear talking points that are going to be very succinct and direct, and clearly in line with what that audience needs at that particular time. I always say 2 to 3 main points and stick to them. Do not deviate from them. I don't care. A lot of people will go into an interview and say, oh, well, I'll just see what they ask me and then I'll just answer the question no. You need to have your clear, defined message, and you do not deviate from it. Okay, the third thing that producers are looking for, we're talking about television, so of course, they're looking for someone who has a visual appeal. Now, when I say that, all I'm saying is that television is a visual medium, right? So producers want segments that are going to look good on screen. What is it going to look like? What are the viewers going to see? That producer needs to be able to visualize exactly what a segment with you is going to look like. So that means, how can you convey your message in a visual way? Does that mean that you're going to have maybe there's video that's going to be playing over your interview? Maybe you're going to be coming into the studio to do a demonstration. Maybe you have some before and after photos. So that's really how you got to think of it, because nobody just wants to sit there and look at you for 5 minutes. So think about what kind of props, what kind of graphics, are there charts or statistics, anything that's really going to enhance that segment visually. So think about it. I have a client who is a baker. She owns a bakery. When we pitched her as an in-studio segment. So she went in and she actually did a demonstration of how to prepare one of her more popular recipes, right? If you're a chef, do a cooking segment. If you are a fashion designer, you can bring in samples with some models and the little mannequins, or even you can even do a fashion show. That's even better. Bring in models, actually do a fashion show. People want to see some action. They want to actually see something, not just your face on the screen. Only your mama wants to see that. So, all right, the fourth thing that producers are actually looking for is, and this is where people miss the mark, they are looking for expertise and credibility. What do I mean by that? They want people who are credible experts in their field. Because a lot of times we're all multifaceted, right? We all can do lots of things. Like, for example, I like to sew. And quite frankly, I've been sewing since high school. I'm pretty darn good at it. But am I going to go on TV and do a fashion segment? Probably not. Could I? I probably could, but that's not what I want to do because that's really not my expertise. It's a fun hobby and something that I enjoy. Now, I could form a segment around that, but that's a whole different topic for a different day. They're looking for people who have expertise and credibility. So, as a producer, as a PR and media expert, I've got receipts for that. I can actually show you the type of results that I've gotten for my clients. So, you need to be able to demonstrate your authority in your field. That is through your experience, again, through your client results and testimonials, your media presence. Have you done media before? There's no better credibility marker than being in the media, right? Do you have professional qualifications? Those actually are all things that highlight your expertise and your credibility. And those producers want to know that you are a trustworthy source of information, that you can back it up. You can back up what you say. You can show that you are who you say you are. And here is a super tip for you. Your expertise should be prominently displayed on your website and your social media. Again, that's a whole different topic for another day. But yes, if you are an expert and you have a certain level of credibility, I should see that on your social media. Because guess what? Those producers are going to look at it. And if you say that you are an expert in blah, 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 and it's nowhere in your social media, they're going to begin to question, are you really? So showcase your expertise and your credibility. The other thing that producers are looking for is they want stories that are timely and relevant. Again, going back to that whole concept of current events, right? What are people talking about? What is trending? Is this something related to a celebrity? Is it something, political when we're in political season? Is it something that is related to the holidays? Anything cyclical, seasonal, those types of things. They want you to show why your story is relevant right now and how your business fits into that bigger picture. You always have to think about the bigger picture. So, to give you an example, if you are a financial expert, you can tie your story into tax season or, holiday shopping, holiday spending, holiday budgeting, those types of things. If you're in the health and wellness industry, you can talk about fitness trends. We always know New Year. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, we got to get in shape for the New Year. New Year's coming. New Year's resolutions, right? Or it could be a story related to getting fit for that bathing suit that you're going to wear on spring break. Timeliness, timeliness, timeliness. Always make sure that, when you're pitching, you're highlighting those things. The other thing that producers are looking for, they want good on camera presence. Okay? What that means is that you got to show up and show that you are comfortable on camera. You don't want to be one of these people who can, when I'm talking one on one, my points, I'm on point, right? But the minute that light and that camera goes on, I'm like a deer in the headlights. So you need to be able to show them that you're not going to be that deer in the headlights. You are going to be engaging. You're going to be articulate, right? You want to be able to hold that audience's attention and speak in a clear and confident manner. How do you do that? You need to practice. You need to practice giving short, clear answers to some common questions around the topic that you've pitched. And you need to be able to exude some enthusiasm and some energy. Don't sit there like a bump on a log and sound like a robot, right? We hear all this stuff about AI and technology. We don't want that. We want real people. We want your true personality to shine through. And so media training is a great way for you to do that, to help you really refine that message and get your on-camera presence on point so that you always speak in sound bites, short, concise sentences, so that the viewer can grab it in short bites, but also that producer can repurpose it. We can go more on that later, but sound bites actually help you to show up in different places because it's easy to digest and those producers can repurpose that content. So again, practice, 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 because you always want your interviews to feel very natural, but still very short, clear, and concise. Okay. And then producers are looking for relatability and personality. They never want to guess who is going to, again, sit on a stool or sit at an anchor desk and look like a bump on a log. You don't have to pitch them for what you think they want. You always want to be authentic and show up as yourself. Let your personality shine. If you are a funny person, that should come across in all of your interviews. You don't have to necessarily be a polished TV pro. They're not looking for that. That's what they are. They're like, I don't need you to be the polished TV anchor. That's my job. But you should be approachable. You should be likable. And you should be able to make that audience fall in love with you. That is what that producer wants because they want to be able to have you back again. And of course, you want to come back again. But if you're going to be boring, if you're just going to sit there, and not give them great content, you can forget about it. Okay? And then I'll give you the last thing that producers want is they really want media ready assets. So what does that mean? Just to give you, a general look at what I'm talking about, you need to have a professional headshot, right? When they're looking to book you, they want to see what do you look like. You need to have some quality images that are going to be able to show that you're an expert in your field. And again, a strong social media presence. Your expertise needs to be highlighted on your social media pages. These are essentials. They are going to check them before booking you. You better believe it. So clean up your social media. If you've got some stuff on there that may be offensive, that may cause a producer to say, whoa, I don't know that we want to be tied to this kind of stuff, clean it up. Now, I don't want you to think that that is out of alignment because, like I said, you want to show up and be your authentic self. Yes, absolutely. But then that just means that you have to make sure that the outlets that you are pitching are going to be okay with that. So always keep that in mind. Your social media, it's social, but it's also part of your brand. So is that what you really want to be associated with your brand? Right? I'm just saying be intentional about it. Okay? So that's it, guys. That's part one of my 3-part series. And this was so exciting. I'm hearing some sirens. Sounds like an ambulance or fire truck. I hope everyone is okay. So this is part one of my series. We're going to be doing 3 parts. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about the fundamentals of media training. So we just talked about it, touched upon it just a little bit here today, but tomorrow we're going to be talking more about the fundamentals of media training and why it is absolutely essential for you if you are looking to be successful on TV, on radio, if you want to do podcasts that convert, and even if you want to do print interviews. Media training is essential because you want to turn that media into money. And the reason that works is because your media training is on point and you're able to utilize these skills over and over and over again. So, if this is something that you want to go deeper in, right, and you really want to talk more about your messaging, are you ready for TV? How can you, get all this stuff together that I talked about? Then I want you to book a call with me. You can go to beseeinggetbookedsession.com and we can have a short 30-minute conversation to kind of see where you could really tighten up in this area so that you can be ripe for media. And that is whether you are pitching media or whether you want the media to find you, because it works both ways. So we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. I hope this has been valuable to you. I hope you took great notes. If you came in on the end, please go back and watch it. Some golden nuggets in here. The TV journey, it's open to you. You just got to go grab it. And I don't want you to think, I'm not ready yet. I don't have a message. Nobody wants to hear from me. My story's not special. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. Let's really iron out some things because I guarantee you there are opportunities all around you that you are missing out on. And if you're serious about growing your business, this is the way to do it. So go to beseengetbookedsession.com and book a call with me. And yeah, we'll get on a call and map out a media strategy to help you get started on your media journey. And here's the thing, if you've had some media before, because I do get people a lot of times who say, well, you know what, first of all, I pitched the media and I didn't get booked. Or sometimes I will get people who say, yeah, I've been on TV before, but nothing ever came of it. And I can almost guarantee you exactly why. We're going to go deep on that. That's going to be more on day 3. So thank you for tuning in for part 1. Parts 2 and 3 are going to be dynamic and really going to change the game for you. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you tomorrow.